With Sonic X Shadow Generations releasing this October, shockingly soon, oh my goodness, I've recently been going back and playing a lot of Generations since I got a Xbox Series X. And boy, I have really got a huge appreciation for classic Sonic, which I just didn't have before. I forgot how fun this gameplay is. I mean, it's so fun, dude. And so today, I want to go over why I think classic Sonic in Generations is so fun. So, let's get on into it. First things first, the movement is just plain satisfying. Moving around just feels great. The physics and smooth camera work make everything feel super seamless. It's very satisfying to run through any classic Sonic level. There's no clunkiness, there's no jank, it just feels good to control. And even games that I don't think are like bad or anything, which is Superstars, I just don't think it quite has this level of control for me. I don't know, something about Superstars just doesn't have that satisfying feeling that Generations has. I also really enjoy the absolutely busted spin dash. We all know how ridiculous this thing is. I will say, I do think it's been a little bit overplayed. Like, you can't skip an entire level with it. Like, you know, it's fun to make jokes about how fast you go with this thing, but in the stages, it's definitely designed around it. It doesn't feel unintentional, and it doesn't feel like you're breaking the game. It just feels like an overpowered move in the best way. Another thing I just have to bring up is how good the classic Sonic remixes are. Like, good grief, these are amazing, dude. Apart from the classic stages and Planet Wisp, I'm sorry, every classic remix is better. You got Speed Highway with its hard-hitting drums and fun synth sounds. You got City Escape, which is such a dope remix and really changes up the vocals in some fun ways. Seaside Hill may be really simple, but it doesn't need much more. It's right where it needs to be. Crisis City is a true remix, really reimagining the song with that bit-crushed guitar. Boy, it's beautiful. And Rooftop Run. Bro, where do I even begin? The plucky background synths, you know, signature to classic Sonic style in this game, combined with the super organic and realistic strings on top. Oh my goodness, it is a masterpiece, dude. I have no other word to describe it. Also an honorable mention, I think the modern remix is better in this case, but Planet Wisp Act 1 isn't that bad. It kind of just has one really good section and the rest of it's just pretty alright. So yeah, needless to say, classic Sonic has great soundtracks, and I just had to go out of my way to mention this. I know most people already know that Generations has a banger soundtrack, but hey, why not bring it up? So now that I've covered the general stuff, let's get into the stages themselves. Starting off with Green Hill. The stage is super simple, just a tutorial level, but that doesn't mean it has no complexity. There are plenty of different routes and shortcuts that can cut down on your time a lot. So overall, the stage isn't anything crazy, but it definitely does not lack in the replayability department despite being the first level of the game. Next up, we got Chemical Plant. My only gripe with this stage is that it's really short. Apart from that, this is a fast-paced level. Good grief, it really reflects Sonic too. So while this level is fairly simple and really short, it's still a really fun one to come back to. Next up, we have Sky Sanctuary. This level is such a blast to speedrun. What's interesting to me about this stage is that when you play it for the first time, it isn't really that fast-paced. You just kind of take it at a kind of moderate pace. It's not really too fast, but it's not a slog at all. It's a fine enough level, but once you try try and speedrun it, the sheer amount of pace you can get in this level is kind of ridiculous. It seems pretty slow at first, but once you try and learn it, dude, you start flying, man. I mean, you just breeze through this level. It is so fun to master, man. So while this level is already a good level on its own, it is amazing on the replay. Next up, we have Speed Highway, and I'm sorry, Speed Highway is like the GOAT. This is my favorite level in this entire game. No, not the modern one, the classic one. I could replay this classic level for like days on end, dude. Like, oh my gosh, it's so fun, dude. Everything about this level is just amazing, dude. I love taking these secret routes. Like, look at this, dude. You just go behind the wall. Like, oh my gosh, bro. This level is a masterpiece, bro. It is a constant, fast-paced action, but it doesn't lose what makes classic Sonic fun. So, absolutely phenomenal stage. Next up, we have City Escape. This is also a very good level. I love the skateboarding gimmick, and I like that the truck is actually integrated into the level. It gives a sort of like speed check, kind of a skill check, I guess, because you gotta be pretty quick to dodge the truck. And if you do manage to dodge it every time, boy, it is satisfying. And so while City Escape isn't my favorite classic Sonic level, it's definitely up there. It's a good level. Next up, we have Seaside Hill, and like everything from Heroes, I don't like it. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. It's nothing bad. I just think it's kind of alright. You know, it's the water level. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't really find it that fun. Nothing awful, just not very good. Kinda alright. Next up, we got Crisis City, and boy, do I love this stage. This stage is also kind of like Sky Sanctuary, where it doesn't really feel that fast when you play it for the first time, but boy, on the replay, this stage gets kind of ridiculous, dude. Something that this stage, Speed Highway, and City Escape do really well, you know, city levels, well, there you go. They all have such a good flow state. Once you get your speed going, it really feels like you never lose it. Now, do I think all the stages have this to an extent? Yeah. But I think these 3 stages have it the most. There's just a fluidity in going through the stages. It feels so satisfying and seamless the entire time. Also really love the fake out ending in this stage. That's pretty fun, actually. While I won't lie, the collision is sometimes a little janky here, and it doesn't really feel like what you would expect it to be. It's not like I've clipped through the floor or anything, but sometimes I've died here and it didn't really feel all too fair. It just kind of felt like what am I supposed to look at? Like, these aren't clear platforms. These are like weirdly shaped platforms and cars and stuff, so sometimes I would fall and it wouldn't really feel that justified, if you know what I'm saying. Overall, Crisis City is a banger. Next up, we have Rooftop Run. This is also a very good stage, although I am personally not a big fan of these like cart things that you stand on. I don't know. These these always felt weird. I was never able to really figure out how they work. For some reason, I had struggled with that. Even after figuring it out, I don't think this is the best level, but hey, still very solid stage. And finally, we have Planet Wisp. And while I love modern Planet Wisp to bits, that level is literally like one of my favorite Sonic levels ever. So I really like it, to say the least, but yeah, no, I'm sorry. Classic Sonic's Planet Wisp is kind of mid. It's not that good. It's nothing like terrible, but I don't know. It's just, I never find myself replaying this level, even though I find myself replaying the modern one all the time. So there we go. So with that, there are my pretty basic thoughts on all of classic Sonic stages. But I have left a crucial detail out intentionally because I want to mention it now. This junk is so goated. We have the homing attack. If you didn't know, Classic Sonic can unlock a homing attack by collecting all of the red rings in Planet Wisp Act 1, which is, funnily enough, the mid-level, but whatever. Once you do this, you can go over to your skill inventory, and it's already unlocked, you just gotta equip it. And they knew this thing was busted too, because it takes 100 of your skill points. You cannot use any other ability if you have this chosen. And man, while I normally wish I could make the most busted Sonic ever and have all the abilities and all this stuff stacked, that is fun and all, but honestly, I don't blame them. This homing attack changes the game, dude. It's, oh my gosh, it's crazy. The thing I love about the homing attack so much is that, while yes, It is a great tool and makes levels have tons of skips and makes them just more satisfying to play. They also made sure that it doesn't let you just skip out on all the skilled routes that actually require you to aim on an enemy and actually bounce off of it. They made sure you couldn't cheese it in most cases, but still, it's a great way of balancing it out. It makes it useful, but not overpowered. So, yeah, that's about it. Classic Sonic is just a blast to play in Sonic Generations. I've always loved Classic Sonic from even when I beat the game. Like, I would always come back to these classic levels just about as much as the modern stages. Of course, modern stages were a little more, but I always liked Classic Sonic a lot. And like I said, playing Generations more recently has just made my love for Classic Sonic in this game even stronger, dude. And so, saying all of that, I do hope all of you have a great rest of your day. God bless.